Hi, everyone. I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Jessica.
And you're listening to Clean With Me,
the podcast where we walk you through cleaning your house.
Thanks for joining me. In today's episode, I'm going to talk you through straightening up your kitchen and cleaning your bedroom. Let's get right into the episode. It's time to gear up for our cleaning session. Maybe you need to take out the trash, light a candle, turn on a wax warmer, or if it's a nice day and the weather's just perfect, open the windows and let some air circulate through your home. You might also want to freshen up a little bit. I like to always get dressed and presentable before I begin a cleaning session. Of course, I can talk faster than you can do these things. I'm just giving some suggestions. You might already be ready for the day. Maybe you need to start a load of laundry. That's always a good way to kick off a cleaning session, getting one of those household machines working for you while you work on your house. Another thing you might want to do is straighten up your front entrance or your front room, or take care of a glaring problem, a mess somewhere that's been bothering you. Whatever it takes to help you feel relaxed and ready to head to the kitchen and tackle those few dishes, or maybe it's a lot of dishes and the surfaces. And then instead of focusing on living areas after the kitchen, we're going to head to the bedroom. I'm trying to kind of mix up these episodes to where you've got different combinations to choose from. In case you're new to the show, you do not necessarily need to listen to these episodes chronologically. While some people like to just listen to the latest episode and clean along with it, others choose an episode based on what they need to do in their home that day. Sometimes our living areas stay pristine, depending on what stage of life you're in or where people hang out in your home. Sometimes you keep the entrance area and your front room clean, or maybe you just need to get to the bedroom today. In my whole house episodes, which I'm mainly posting as bonus content now for paid financial subscribers, we usually do the bedroom at the end of the episode and just spend a few minutes on it, because typically we prioritize things like the kitchen and then those common areas, and maybe save our bedroom for last because guests aren't necessarily going to see it. But if you always save the bedroom for last, it might get overly cluttered. Lately, I'm prioritizing cleaning my room more because I delegate the other areas to the kids and whatnot. So if you clicked on this episode, you probably want to clean your bedroom. However, first things first, you've got to make sure that you take care of any dishes before moving on to clean your room. So let's gather up dishes from around the house. Okay, maybe you just need to move dishes from a table or your kitchen island over to the sink area, or maybe you've got a mug on your nightstand or a glass on the ledge around your bathtub or something like that. You want to gather up all those dishes. Maybe you even need to check a teenager's room, because there's nothing like doing your dishes and then somebody walks in with a dirty dish, or you find a dirty dish and you've moved on. You're out of that mode. You've already shined your sink, and you want to make sure that you're basically starting with a clean slate, getting all your dishes done at once. So let's gather those up. There's something about getting all of your dishes done and your kitchen surfaces wiped down that really helps you build momentum in a cleaning session, which is why we often do that early in the episode. Okay. So I'll give you a minute to gather up those dishes. And while you're doing that, I want to talk about today's sponsor, which is Cozy Earth. This is an episode about cleaning the bedroom. I told you I've been prioritizing keeping our room clean, and it does make it feel more peaceful. My husband and I both are at an age where we wake up often at night. Sometimes we have trouble sleeping. And one of the things we've done lately that has been just a game changer is purchasing quality bedding from Cozy Earth. I mean, the temperature controlled sheets are just so cooling and relaxing. And of course, they come with the pillowcases too. And it's been just a game changer. It has definitely transformed our nights. Cozy Earth's products are crafted with the finest materials and meticulous attention to detail, ensuring your experience transcends the ordinary. Indulge in the feel of Cozy Earth's bed sheets and loungewear and elevate your sleep experience to new heights. You might be asking what sets Cozy Earth apart. Well, it's not just the premium materials or innovative technology. It's the promise of unparalleled comfort. And you've got to just experience the difference for yourself and discover why Cozy Earth is the ultimate companion for those seeking both comfort and style in the bedroom. So go to CozyEarth.com now and use my code CLEANWITHME at checkout for an exclusive discount. But hurry, because this offer won't last forever. Don't miss your chance to transform your sleep experience with Cozy Earth. If you're still not convinced, take advantage of their 100-day guarantee and 10-year warranty. With Cozy Earth, your satisfaction is their priority, and they stand behind the quality of their products, ensuring you can purchase with confidence. But don't just take my word for it. Visit CozyEarth.com today, where comfort meets adventure. So hopefully now you've gathered dishes from around the house. The next thing I want you to do, even before straightening up your kitchen or maybe emptying your dishwasher or your drying rack, and that's getting anything soaking that needs to soak, those problem dishes. Obviously, some of the dishes are easy to clean, water glasses, or maybe silverware and plates and bowls that have already been rinsed off. But maybe you have some cups or mugs with some dried on coffee or milk in the bottom of them. Maybe you have a pan that you cooked in with dried on food or even baked on food. It's time to rinse those items and then fill them up with hot water and dish soap. If it's a serious problem, you may even want to drop a dishwasher pod into that item. For example, if there's burnt on or baked on food or something that you've let sit embarrassingly long. Okay? No judgment here. If you've let something sit too long, just don't do that to yourself in the future. I talked about in a recent episode the importance of opening and closing. Ideally, when you close your kitchen at night, you wash all your dishes and you wake up to a clean slate, so to speak. But sometimes people drop the ball and have to get up the next morning and wash the dishes. But if you're going over 24 hours without washing your dishes, it makes it a lot harder to get them clean. And then that could even warp your perspective on how long it takes to do your dishes, causing you to procrastinate further, when in reality, if you're checking on your dishes 2 or 3 times a day and just keeping up on them, things aren't going to be hard to clean. I mean, once in a while there's an accident where something, burns on or something. But consider my method in the future of like transferring something. If you baked it in a casserole dish, transferring it to another container while it's still hot so that you can wash that dish that it was cooked in. Okay? That can be a game changer if you're like me and you really don't like to scrub. Okay? So just be getting any problem dishes soaking. And then when you're done with that, it'll be time to empty your drying rack, your dishwasher, or both. And you might be tempted to skip the step of emptying a drying rack or a drying pad or towel on your countertop, wherever you have your clean dishes. You might be tempted to skip putting those away. You might just think, I'll just add to the pile. I don't feel like dealing with all that stuff, putting all that stuff away. I encourage you to resist the urge to not put away all your clean dishes, because having everything put away will speed you up on doing your dishes. And if you're like me, you want to get them done as quickly as possible. You want to get that chore over with, because let's face it, cleaning your bedroom is probably more fun than doing dishes if you're like me. Some of my least favorite chores are folding and putting away laundry, doing dishes, and probably sweeping and mopping the floors. But cleaning the bedroom, even though it does get put off, is a little bit more satisfying to me, because I feel like when I get my room clean, that's going to last longer, than just the constant dishes that I have to do at my house. So anyway, let's get this hard part over with. Let's get these dishes done, put away the clean dishes, and then start doing your dishes, whatever that means for you. Okay? Maybe you're going to start your first sink load by pre-rinsing your silverware and your glasses and cups and mugs, and then submerging those in the hot soapy dishwater, and then washing those using a brush, and then rinsing them under running water. Or maybe you're the type of person who washes everything under running water. I like to submerge things and let them soak for a minute while the water kind of cools down to a comfortable level. I have them soak at the hottest point, and then they sit there for a minute. So if you're like me and you start that first sink load, if you're like me and you're washing by hand, I should say, you might be loading your dishwasher. But I like to get those first items pre-rinsed and submerged, and then I'll straighten up my kitchen while the water cools down to a more comfortable level. So that's one way of doing things. Okay. However you need to do things, maybe you're doing an empty reload and run of the dishwasher, and then you're going to pre-rinse those items that were soaking and put those into the dishwasher, or maybe those items need to be hand washed, or maybe you're facing a disaster, meaning you've got several sink loads to wash, or if you have a dishwasher that you use, not everything's going to fit in the dishwasher, and you're going to hand wash the remaining items. Now, there is one shortcut you can take, but I feel like it's only okay in certain situations. Here's what I mean by that. If you have a dishwasher and not everything fits into the dishwasher, but you really have no desire to hand wash the remaining items, you can come back and do a reboot of your dishwasher under certain circumstances. Here's when I do that. If I do dishes early in the day, I know my husband's going to be working all day. The kids are all at school, because my kids only go to school on certain days. They're in a different kind of school that's a hybrid university model Christian school where they're only there on certain days. Most of you are regular listeners and know that. But if the kids are going to be at school all day, my husband's going to be gone all day, I might go that route where I do the dishwasher load and then set a timer for like 2 hours and 45 minutes to come back and do another empty reload and run. That allows me to work on other housework in between and just avoid hand washing. However, it's rare that everything is perfect like that. I mean, usually I have a house full of people, I'm coming and going, and it's just not that practical to leave some dishes out in a situation where, one, I might get caught with a sink load of dishes. No, my husband's not going to say anything, but that's still not a good look. Or somebody's going to add to the mess. Then by the time I go to do the dishes again, not everything fits in the dishwasher. Then I'm in a perpetual state of being behind, and I don't like that. So I probably only do it maybe once every 2 weeks, where I load the dishwasher, just kind of get everything soaking, and come back and do another empty reload and run during the day. It just depends on your daily routine. If your kids are toddlers and babies, they're not preparing their own food, dirtying their own dishes, your spouse is going to be gone all day, that might be a good method for you. But for a lot of us, we want to just get all of the dishes done and start with a clean slate, because if someone comes along and the kitchen is clean, they are more likely to at least rinse their dish and maybe even wash it from start to finish, as opposed to adding to the mess. But if they see a sink full of dishes or things sitting out, they're less likely to keep it clean. I'm really big on this concept. In fact, I recently told my family, hey, I know that when somebody else makes a mess, you're more likely to leave things out. But the only way that we're going to keep this house perfectly clean is if everybody takes responsibility for cleaning up after themselves and not, gauging whether they're going to do that based on how the house already looks. It's obviously human nature. Just be working on your dishes while I talk about this. But let's say you go over to your mom's house. If your mom is someone who keeps a really clean house. If not, think of a different person. But someone who is just always cleaning as they go and then does a regular deep clean, and just everything is in place, a thing for everything, or a place for everything, and everything is in its place. So for me, that would be my mom. I know other people like that, but I'll use my mom as an example. If I were to walk into my mom's kitchen and make a sandwich, I'm not going to just leave a knife with peanut butter on it lying on the countertop. If I heat up a TV dinner, I'm not going to. That's a frozen meal for those of you younger ones. We called them TV dinners back in the day. But if I, heat up some microwave meal or whatever, I'm not going to leave the package on the counter. I'm going to throw it away. When I get done eating, I'm going to wash the fork. Okay? And that's because I see that there's a higher standard. And obviously, maybe that's an extreme example because it's someone else's house. Of course, you're not going to make a mess at someone else's house. But what if you treated your own house the same way you treated your mother's house, or whoever in your life keeps a clean kitchen and at all times? You would clean up after yourself. But what I'm trying to tell my kids is that the only person you can control is yourself. So if someone else leaves, the proverbial top ramen bowl with the noodles dried onto it or whatever, things that make me crazy, if someone else messes up, it doesn't mean, oh, mom's not enforcing the rules about cleaning up after ourselves, or, there's still personal responsibility. Because I don't want, just because one person makes a mistake or is careless or disregards the rule, for just everyone to fall off the wagon and just not respect our home. So yeah, this isn't just about kids. This is about each other, because you could possibly influence your spouse to clean up after himself by doing it yourself. And I know some of you are like, no, he doesn't care. He's that. Okay, well, at least if he's making a mess, but you're not, you've got less dried on food to contend with. If he goes in at midnight after the kitchen's closed, makes a snack or whatever, you've got less to contend with. My husband is really good about like keeping the kitchen clean, but I will admit that if I'm not keeping the kitchen clean and nobody closes, so to speak, as in doing an evening routine, he might leave a knife on the counter with peanut butter on it. He's been known to. That's usually my youngest son doing stuff like that, but he might. He has been known to leave a mess, but he doesn't do it if the kitchen's clean to begin with. So this works better with him than it does with kids. It works even better with him. Or if I'm not dropping clothes in the bathroom floor, if I'm putting things in the hamper, he'll do it. Just a clean environment begats a clean environment, and messes attract more messes. So let's just keep that in mind in the future. I'm not like bawling you out for the condition your kitchen might be in right now. I just like to always, when I'm dealing with a mess, I like to tell myself, like, this kind of sucks, but I'm not going to let it get this way. And it's not that I'm never going to let it get that way again, but I'm going to try to avoid the situation in the future. For example, excuse me, when I have to soak an enchilada pan or something, I'm going to remind myself, like, don't reheat the enchiladas in the same pan that they were originally baked in. That's going to make it really hard to clean. Things like that. That's what the microwave is for. Put your leftovers in the microwave, unless you're just like scared of using a microwave. I know I've been through a phase where I was trying to cut back on microwave use, but I don't cook in the microwave, but I think it is an easy way to reheat. You can also use a toaster oven, though. So if you're totally against microwaves, maybe you need a toaster oven for reheating. But the way I like to do it is put those leftovers on a plate in the microwave and then put a cover over it so it doesn't splatter. There are covers you can get for that. And obviously you still need to clean out your microwave, but it stays clean longer if you're covering things. So that's what I do, because if we put that same pan back in the oven that had like a lasagna or enchiladas, it can be messy. Now, I'll admit, if we barely ate the dinner and we're reheating a large portions of leftovers to serve to the entire family, yes, we do sometimes still do that. But in general, we try to do the leftovers on a plate in the microwave. If we do that, I try to get the pan soaking as soon as it's empty. I'll drop a dishwasher pod into it and do a really good pre-soak. My goal is always to not have to scrub very hard. My husband's the opposite. He's just like, you just scrub it. Like, a man's mentality of just using like elbow grease and just scrubbing something really hard or whatever. That's his style. My style is to avoid scrubbing to begin with. I'm real big on soaking things, but at the same time, like, I no longer allow myself to have something perpetually soaking. When I was a younger mom, I would almost always have like a skillet or my crock pot on the counter soaking. Number one, it's before I knew about putting a dishwasher pod into a pot, because that works wonders during the soaking phase. But number two, I hated hand washing, so I'd put all the small stuff in the dishwasher and then kind of use the soaking excuse to not wash the pan right away. Yeah, I was in a cycle of doing that oftentimes. But over time, you live and learn. Youth is wasted on the young. When you get to be my age, you've got a lot of tricks up your sleeves. And so I don't do a lot of scrubbing. I do a lot of soaking. And I don't perpetually soak. I don't tell myself that something needs to soak all day. I soak it for maybe an hour or even less. Okay. Sometimes 20 minutes is fine, 15 minutes. Oftentimes, I'm just soaking things and then just cleaning them right before I leave the kitchen. So, and I'm real big on timers. If you are going to let something soak longer than the length of this episode, set a timer to come back to it. But it's now, most of you have gotten your dishes done. It's now time to clean those surfaces in your kitchen. And I want you to, of course, clear everything off so that you can feel free to spray. And sometimes, if you want to really get spray happy with a cleaning product, sometimes you got to just dry your dishes and put them away. If you want to really detail your entire countertop, when I have things in the drying rack, I'll usually wipe down that area with a damp rag with dish soap on it. And then I'll use the spray, all-purpose cleaning spray in other parts of the kitchen, like the stove, the island, the other countertops where there aren't clean dishes. But there's something to be said for just putting everything away and just getting spray happy on your countertops. And of course, this is not going to be a deep cleaning episode, but of course, in a more deep cleaning kitchen episode, you may want to wipe down your cabinets, your walls, your switch plates, a baseboard, sweep and mop the kitchen, all the things. But what I really want you to accomplish today, because, we want to move on to the bedroom, is just to get your dishes done, give your countertops and stovetop a swipe, and wipe out your sink. Okay? So I'll give you just a couple more minutes to do that, and then we're going to head to the bedroom. Okay, we're going to spend about 9-10 minutes cleaning your bedroom. And you may be thinking, oh, my bedroom's a mess. I need more time than that. No, you probably don't. The thing about cleaning a bedroom, you can do it faster than you think. I think it just takes a while because we tend to get distracted in there. We find things, we look at things, they cause us to leave the room. I got interrupted there, but there are just so many distractions in the bedroom compared to the kitchen where, in the kitchen, it's kind of obvious what you need to do. You may not even be tempted to leave the room. It's like you're putting away seasonings, you're throwing away trash, you're doing your dishes, you're wiping surfaces, and, that's it. Sweeping, whatever. But in your bedroom, you're coming across things that maybe go in another room. So here's what I want you to do first. As soon as you get to your bedroom, make the bed. It'll take about 60 seconds to make your bed. It will instantly transform your room. No matter what a disaster it is, it will just look more normal if the bed's made. There's something just terribly wrong with a bedroom where the bed's unmade and there's stuff all over the floor. It's disheartening. But as soon as you make the bed, it's going to look better. Okay? And then you want to kind of clean your bedroom in layers. That's what I do, categorical. I start that way, and then I just start dealing with everything. So the first thing I do is make the bed. That gives me a staging area in case I need to pick something up off the floor and place it on the bed temporarily. It also will transform your room. I'm sure you know that if you've been listening to the show for a while. Or just from life, from your own experience. But once that bed is made, usually the next step is to just deal with any dirty laundry or shoes, picking up clothes that are dirty, putting them in the hamper or taking them to the laundry room real quick, putting your shoes in the closet or wherever they go. Hopefully it's in the closet. I don't like shoes stored visibly. I personally don't like that. Some people do it. I don't like it. I think they should be in the closet. But to each his own. Deal with your dirty laundry, your shoes. You might also need to deal with clean laundry. A common thing is draping something that's maybe you've worn. It's not necessarily clean or dirty or whatever. Draping something over a chair, over an exercise bike, over a play yard, a crib. We've all got these places where we kind of hang our clothes. Or maybe you have clean clothes that are literally on the floor getting mixed in with the dirty. That's not good, but it happens. And if you have your actual laundry pile, like a load or more of laundry in your room, don't get sidetracked by that right now. Just consolidate that into the basket, the corner, whatever. What I want you to do is put away clothes that are just out of place. Now, there may be other things in your room. There may be trash. That would be another layer. And I want you to be moving quickly because we're not going to spend a ton of time on this. Just because this room has this episode has a focus on the bedroom does not mean we need to lollygag on this. You've got to move quickly. Okay? This is faster than doing dishes. You're just grabbing things and putting them where they go. You can be moving pretty fast. It's not like when you're doing dishes and haste makes waste and you end up shattering something. It's your bedroom. You're dealing with shoes, clothes, trash. Do you have a trash bag in there? Do you have a wastebasket in there? You need something. I have 2 large wastebaskets in my bedroom, and so I can clean the bedroom just on a whim by putting things in those wastebaskets. So that's something that, maybe not everybody has, but it works for me. It's how I need to do things. Because we kind of live in our room a lot. I feel like we're in our room more than most people. We have, a large TV in there. The kids have a different TV out in the front room. And I've got like my office in there, stuff like that. We spend a lot of time in there. So one of the other layers, of course, is trash. And then just anything that's on the floor. So once you've already dealt with the categories like dirty laundry, clean laundry, shoes, trash, the next thing is, because there may be things that don't fall in those categories, just random clutter. So the next thing would be to just kind of pick a corner of your room and just start moving around your room. If you're like me, you're going to be moving in kind of a horseshoe pattern because the bed is the focal point. You're going to kind of start in a corner, maybe by one nightstand, and work your way around to the other nightstand. And unless you have a huge bedroom, that's the extent of your room. I do have an office area, so part of my process is like picking up anything that's under my desk or around my desk, stuff like that. So, once you've dealt with kind of the categories and just cleaned in layers, so to speak, you need to just start working your way around the room and getting everything picked up. If there's something that you don't know what to deal with, you don't know what to do with, don't leave it there. Don't stop and think too hard. Just place it on the bed. Place it on the bed. Get it up off the floor. Because you can do one of two things at the end of this session. You can either put away everything that you've placed on the bed, any of these questionable items that you're not sure what to do with or that maybe belong in another room. You can put all that away at the end. Or if you want, you could put it in just an empty laundry basket or cardboard box to be dealt with later. Obviously, you don't want to just have like all these doom boxes around that you're not dealing with or whatever. But at the same time, you don't want to be such a perfectionist that you create a huge project out of cleaning your room. I think it's okay to have a miscellaneous box in the closet or something. Not forever, but for now. Because some days when you're starting with a room that's already in pretty good condition, you can go deeper. It's just like with the kitchen where I say some days you've got to just do your dishes and give your countertops and stovetop a swipe. And of course your table or high chair if other surfaces are dirtied. But other days it's more about going deeper because you've been keeping up on dishes. You only, everything fits in the dishwasher. Your kitchen's looking pretty good. On those days, you're organizing your pantry. You're wiping down walls. Same principle applies in the bedroom, okay? On a day when your room isn't just covered in clothes or whatever your problems are in your bedroom, then that's when you're going to do things like sorting through a drawer or a box that you had to quickly shove in your closet of things that you just couldn't make a decision about or couldn't be bothered with. Okay? We're only going to spend a couple more minutes in the bedroom. What I want you to do, once your bedroom is picked up, if you have hard floors, you might want to sweep it. Or another thing that you could do if you're planning to just sweep or vacuum later while listening to music or while listening to another episode, or maybe you just feel like vacuuming your bedroom isn't a priority today or something like that, you could pick a window to wash, wipe out a windowsill, dust some blinds, wipe down a nightstand or a dresser. Don't forget to clear those surfaces. You know what goes on your surfaces and what doesn't. Okay? I tend to pile things on my nightstand. So does my husband. But from time to time, we deal with those items and wipe off the nightstand and try not to clutter it up again. You know, you want your water cup there, maybe a pen and pad for jotting things down when you get a phone call or writing down what you dreamt about or, an idea for a song lyric, whatever you do. But or the book you're reading, the book you're currently reading, a lamp, a flashlight even. I mean, certain things that you might want to keep on your nightstand, but certain things just don't go there. So you might want to deal with those surfaces today, or you might want to use your time to clean the floors or just deep clean something like a baseboard, windowsill, or window. Okay. And we do bedroom cleaning episodes from time to time, so don't feel like you have to do everything in this episode. Just my goal is for you to have your bed made, your floor picked up, and just to feel in control of your bedroom. Special thanks to my financial supporters. Whether you support the show by subscribing to bonus episodes on Apple Podcasts, that purple app on your iPhone, or if maybe you click the link in the episode description at some point and we're sent to Spreaker's website to get the bonus content that way. Or maybe you're supporting us on Patreon. Jessica and I each have our own Patreon, so you can pick one of us, or you could support both. But by supporting us in any of these ways, Patreon, Spreaker, Apple, you gain access to bonus episodes, which are not available to the general public. We get more personal in the episodes, and lately we're making those episodes a little bit longer. I know I didn't make one last week, but I'm going to get caught up. I'm going to be making a new one soon. I've just been babysitting a lot. Anyway, I'll record a bonus episode soon. I don't expect anyone to subscribe to bonus content, but I sure appreciate it when someone does. Most of all, just keep listening. Follow the show on whichever app you use. And as always, happy cleaning. I'll talk to you in the next episode.